Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I bankrupt once again by Adam and Fluff.
How's it going, everyone?
What's going on, beautiful people?
And today's matchup is Adam versus Fluff. Fluff's brought back red-blue launch, and Adam's kind of going to a different approach with hand control counter by using Raditz. So instead of dropping cards, you're warping cards. Like always, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them for the there for a reason. But let's get into today's matchup. Before we go any further, why Raditz?
Well, as you kind of said, I don't usually play decks that are in the meta, and I honestly I'm going to blame Austin for this because I had 6 decks in my bag, and he said, pick a number, and this is kind of what it came up with. So it's a little bit of a different take. A lot of the Raditz decks are going to be mono green. There is a black green deck that's been floating around, but I tend to be more of a mid-range player, so I needed to have some way to be able to get to an energy level where I felt comfortable. So I added a little bit of blue in there so that I can utilize Senzu Bean if I needed to.
You played blue in your deck?
Yeah.
Okay, that surprised me because we played as well, and I don't recall seeing a single blue card in our matchup.
Yeah,
so
neither did I. So, I like to brew, but sometimes these brews are not as efficient as I'd like them to be in my head.
Fair enough. And I know that Fluff's already changed some of his decks. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so when I first played Launch, I played it with a Unison package. And I decided to opt out of the Unison package and focus more on, I don't want to say mono red because I'm playing blue red, but focusing more on the ability to combo consistently and activate the leader's effect consistently. You'll see here, I forgot to flip the life up. I do end up fixing that and flipping it up. I'm still kind of getting used to sequencing adequately in this. But I focused on just being able to combo consistently and have other answers throughout the game to various situations that I might come up on. One thing that I'm really concerned about with this match particularly is while I feel like I can outdraw his ability to rip out my hand, I have to make sure that while I'm dropping cards from my hand, I'm able to keep my draw consistent off the leader's ability while also trying to keep in mind how I'm going to end up closing this game out. Because I do feel like I have the ability to grind this game out in the long run. I just have to get past the surges of hand control here.
Yeah, and to be fair, I didn't feel terrible going through this match. I knew that Launch was going to draw a lot, but I think I had you pretty consistently at 5 or less cards in your hand, Fluff. Is that right?
That's correct.
I see here you've chosen to get rid of. You charged one, warped one, and dropped one of each of the Hercule Boos as well.
Yeah, I just saw a lot of them. And honestly, Hercule Boo doesn't do much. Like, the main reason that you want Hercule Boo is to have a good red-blue charge target in the beginning and maybe to reload a cooler back into your hand at some point. But other than that, they're kind of dead. And you kind of want one in the drop area for the combo attack cooler. So if you can get him out constantly comboing with a Hercule Boo from your drop area, which really sets up your rivals, it makes combo attack cooler a 25k on swing. So having one of those in the drop area is not a bad idea.
I was not expecting to see Legix back, but all right.
I actually really like Legix in this list. It gives you a good blocker to defend with, but it also provides a piece of pressure. I actually misplayed that turn. I meant to play the Legic while he still had a battle card, and I missed the opportunity to play Legic when I swung with my leader, so I just decided to combo the Legic out. I wasn't sure how well they were going to operate in this match. I didn't know if he was running Charismatics or what kind of removal his deck would have. So I just decided to go ahead and just use the Legic as a combo piece to get my draw.
And
yeah, this was a pretty a sloppy match on my part for sure, and I know Fluff said he had a couple misplays, but I I kept playing that one drop super combo Vegeta, and I kept forgetting that launch negged something by 5k, and it just kept getting wiped before I could use it, which was a drag. But fortunately, in this deck, having stuff in my drop isn't so bad because I do run a lot of Overwhelmed with Dark Temptation Toa to try to rip a card, but it was still frustrating to constantly get that thing taken off the board before I could utilize it as a super combo.
Yeah. I wanted to go on ahead and just get a window to have the cooler on the field here. I do catch that launch needs to be warped. You'll see here, I move it out. So, but I wanted the cooler to be on the field, even though I didn't get the negs off on it. I just wanted to have the cooler on the field so I could start pressuring the leader.
And that's one of the things
And
that
here's
make
the
it launch really good as well, is the fact that you, even with the light kind of hand control that's happening right now, you're able to just be able to draw so much.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
initially you could draw 3 times per turn, once for per combo, and then if you get the flip, you get another draw as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Fluff was not ever once afraid of losing all of his life at one point in time, and I was constantly trying to do my math to make sure that I had some way of stopping the attacks that were going to be coming next turn. Before I get to 4 life, it's not as big of a deal, but as soon as I hit 4, it starts to really become a lot of pressure because um, aside from a lot of the popular builds, I don't run charismatic villains. I don't run dormant potentials. My negate of choice basically is the power of the people, or protector of the people, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and homicidal clones. I've got a couple of the Bupos as well, but I'm very quickly starting to see the holes in the armor of this deck.
Yeah. Charismatic and dormant potential specifically are so important to green that you almost can't avoid playing them.
Yeah,
Like, in order for a green deck to be effective, you have to be playing those cards. And to a lesser extent, stuff like Fuse the Moss Deity's Wrath,
yep.
which, is another piece of hand control. But just being able to stop swings as they happen is really important.
Now, you didn't put the markers down, but technically, I assume the Goku's 30k right now.
The Goku is 30k, yeah. And he goes on ahead and he uses a protector of the people. So I want to get in with the cooler first. And I want to continue to pressure with this Goku. Even though he's got the markers building from protector of the people, I still feel confident in being able to get this damage through. One of the weak points for Raditz is how low your hand stays as the Raditz player. So I didn't expect him to combo very high. So I want to deal as much damage as possible here. So I'm going to end up double striking him here just to get him down to 2.
Yeah, that was one of my things. I remember when I built Raditz, because I built the tax cheated version of it. Where if I'm gonna have a low hand, I want to make sure my opponent also has a low hand, because that can get very problematic. Now there is a 1-drop, and I think it's the one you just charge, but it lets you draw cards, 1 card per every 2 in your opponent's warp, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So like that potentially being a good resource for you, it did just feel like that was the best charge target for you at the moment, though.
Yeah, at the moment, because I wanted to get that Nappa out, and the rest of my cards in my hand, I believe, were either blue or black. So I wanted to charge a green to make sure that I could get at least 2 warps out of his hand per turn.
Mm-hmm.
And losing both of my battle cards kind of sucks. Definitely not what you want to happen as the launch player. Your ability to play battle cards is kind of limited. Like the coolers, you have to have them while you have a red-blue card in play. Here, I ended up warping a super combo. And this is what I'm saying about making sure that you have the right combo of cards in your hand during this match. You just need to make sure that you're able to combo, flip, and combo again to get your maximum number of draws and cycle per turn.
Yeah.
So,
And Fluff, did you ever see yourself actually paying to play that Goku from life during your other matches?
No, that Goku never came up all night. I think at one point I ended up hard casting him against someone, and they just didn't negate to take the life, which is great because my attacks went through. But
yeah.
I think ultimately I may end up changing those Gokus out and shoring up a couple of the 3-ofs to 4-ofs, like bringing the Vegeta Resolve Renewed up to 4, bringing Topo up to 4, bringing the Divine Presence Gokus up to 4, and just taking those out completely.
And that's one of the things I really appreciate about this specific card game is that even though a card may look good on paper, if you don't have synergy or ways to cheat out those cards or have them work with other parts in your deck, it can have this great wall of text and a lot of things that look pretty, but it may not necessarily be a good card.
Yeah. And that Goku's definitely not bad. It's just kind of awkward to pay 2 red energy sometimes. Like there, I was tapped out and couldn't play it. Here I go on ahead and just put on the secret rare pressure. I'm going to go on ahead and combo out my hand.
No matter what point, if you can't combo out, that's game, unfortunately.
Yeah, yep. It's deadly, man, that card.
Yeah, because I see you do have a I see the 2 Nimbuses in your hand. Which sorry, not Nimbus, Sensu Bean, which is very, like I said, interesting. Yeah. Like, what other blue cards do you play in the deck to make that viable?
Yeah, I had the black and blue Vegeta from the anniversary box in there to charge. But yeah, just the only time that it came up is I played against a Drip Q deck. And the Drip Coup player just was not finding their unisons off the top, and so that was the only time that I was able to get all 3 colors into my energy. But
okay.
I think with a little bit of practice, it could become something, or I'll just take blue out all the way and put some of those green staples in.
I'm saying there are the 17 checklands which protect their people. No, protector of life,
wildlife, or something.
Yeah. Which I think might be a better option than those Vegetas. Yeah. That way, there's still a green card for you.
And who knows? I might be able to just go into blue-green and see what kind of works with that. I love that color combination anyway, but we'll see.
That may be a better option, especially the fact.
Yeah.
I don't know, because Dormant I think is more viable than the
Protector of the People.
No, the green-black Gohan negate that you were using.
Yeah.
Especially in this case right here, Fluff, if he could attack 2 more times with that card. Now, I know in our matchup, I only attacked 1 more time, which it really didn't matter the deck I was playing. But there are some people who play, rainbow decks or double color decks, and sometimes 1 less attack is always better for you than potentially 2 more attacks.
Yep, absolutely.
But that is today's matchup. Thank you all for tuning in. Keep in mind, there's buttons down below and stuff on the screen. Feel free to comment. We'll try to respond. I'm a little slow today on those, but hey, Fluff, lead us out.
Yeah, thanks again, Adam, for the great match. It's always interesting to see what kind of deck you're going to bring to the shop. People, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to, and Fluff out.